Hi friends, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, I'm Johanna and welcome back to my cozy book space. For today's video, we're going to be doing my February wrap-up. I think this is going to be a short one because I read a lot of my February books for a reading vlog. But let's just jump right into it. First book I ended up reading in the month of February was Hooked by Helena Hunting. I'm not even going to go into too much depth about this one because I did read it for my Read It or Unhaul It vlog episode 1. I will leave that video linked down below in the description box as well as include it up in the cards at some point in this video. Safe to say I do go into a rant about this book. It was not a book that I just go watch that vlog. Let's just say that I should have DNF'd it for sure. Second book that I ended up reading in the month of February was Phantom by H.G. Carlton. I gave this one 4 stars. I really enjoyed this one. This one is actually, the heroine of this book is actually the grandmother of the heroine in the Cat and Mouse duet. We get her story and the journal entries that she wrote in real time, the same journal entries that Adeline from the Cat and Mouse duet read. So we have a heroine who is struggling with her family at the moment, specifically with her husband. Her husband has a gambling problem and it's definitely affecting the family. The family is essentially bankrupt, if you will, and she is really upset that her husband is not seeing this and not seeing how much stress and burden this puts on the heroine. The heroine is also a mother, and I did appreciate how she took into account her daughter, especially when it comes to the relationship between her and the hero. Our hero is actually a mobster, a gangster, if you will. He is set on a mission, I believe, to go look for the husband, or actually to go look for the heroine to possibly scare her or kidnap her to then scare the husband, if that makes sense. And he ends up seeing her through her window from this house that in the Cat and Mouse duet Adeline inherits, and he immediately becomes enamored by her and he proceeds to stalk her. I really loved this story. I really enjoyed it. I love H.G. Carlton's writing, and H.G. Carlton's spice in this book specifically was amazing. Like, it was filthy. It was such a good time. I think this was a really good book to get out of a reading slump, or if you feel like you just need something quick and easy. As for the relationship, I did feel it was a little bit on the surface level, but I did like the way that it ended up playing out and how they were able to create a relationship despite all of the obstacles. So I really enjoyed this one. I give it 4 stars. Third book I ended up reading in the month of February was First Time Caller by B.K. Borison. This one I gave 4 stars to as well. I really loved this one. We have our heroine named Lucy Stone and we have our hero Aiden Valentine. So Aiden actually runs a radio show based on love, and he actually has fallen out of love with love. He recently gets his spark back when it comes to Lucy. So Lucy is actually a single mother, and her daughter, I believe she's around 12, 13, I think, and she ends up calling into Aiden's radio show and telling him that she wants her mother to find love because she thinks that her mother is lonely. So we have Lucy who overhears her daughter talking to some random guy, man, person on the phone, and she's like, what are you doing? And this prompts Lucy to take the phone away from her daughter, and this is how Lucy and Aiden have their first conversation. This conversation lasts for a while, and I really love that they had this moment of connection before officially meeting in person. Aiden makes this offer for Lucy to come onto the radio show, and Aiden will help her find love. And in that process, Aiden and Lucy end up falling in love with each other. I really loved this book. I thought it was so cute. I love B.K. Borison's writing, as well as I loved every single little moment that Aiden and Lucy had. It was just so special and sweet. I resonated a lot with Lucy because she felt like she was content with her life but not looking for love. She wanted a love that was what she wanted, that was maybe a lot for some people, but she wanted a guy to meet her standards, and she didn't want to lower her standards. She wanted the butterflies in the stomach, the chemistry, all of those things, and she didn't want to settle for less. And when she would try prior, she would never find that in a guy. Of course, Aiden ends up stepping up and doing those things for her, especially with these dates that our heroine goes on to try to find a match. They don't necessarily end up going well, and Aiden is always there to save the day, and this is how they kind of bond and build their relationship. I will say I really enjoyed the audiobook for this. I thought it was fantastic. This does have an element of the radio show, so at the beginning of every chapter, I believe, is a certain like quote or section. I can't remember, but it's done like in a radio thing in the audiobook, and it was just so much fun to read, and it made the radio sections definitely a lot more fun to experience than actually reading the book physically. So I definitely recommend the audiobook for this book specifically because of it having that radio show element. I loved the comments of people dialing in, of Lucy creating kind of like a bigger friend group and a bigger family with Aiden's friends and all of those things. Aiden does have a lot of like familial trauma. His mother does go through cancer and remission quite a few times, so he has a very difficult time committing to something because he feels like it will not last. So we do have that third act breakup, that tension that they definitely have to overcome, but I thought it was done beautifully, and I just found myself smiling and giggling throughout the whole book, and I really enjoyed it. Next, I ended up reading Onyx Storm by Rebecca Yarros. This is actually the third book in the Empyrean series, and I did read this book in my Fourth Wing series reading vlog, which I will link up in the cards and down below in the description box. So definitely check out that video if you guys want to see my thoughts on Fourth Wing, Iron Flame, and Onyx Storm. I had a lot of fun filming that video. Next up, I ended up reading The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue by V.E. Schwab. I know, thank you. Please hold the applause. I finally read this book, and I actually did read this book for my Read It or Unhaul It episode 1 vlog. But if you guys want to see me sob my eyes out, definitely check out that vlog. Then we have The Au Pair Affair by Tessa Bailey. I give this book 4 stars. Are we surprised? This is a Tessa Bailey book. I loved this book. We have our hero, Burgess. I feel like Tessa Bailey's heroes' names are becoming a little crazy, not gonna lie, because I don't even know what the hell is going on. But our hero's name is Burgess, Burgess. Girl, I don't even know. And then we have our heroine named Tallulah. So this is a single dad nanny romance. Tallulah is actually the best friend or friend of the heroine in Fangirl Down. Burgess is actually a Hogga player that is friends with the hero in the first book as well. So they meet because of mutual friends, and Burgess offers Tallulah a nanny job because he is a single dad. She accepts this request, but when it comes down to it, she kind of backs out because she is afraid of men. She does have trauma from her past relationship that did not go anywhere good. Okay, it was crazy to say the least, but I loved seeing their dynamic and how she opens up to our hero, especially after he makes her feel like supremely safe. Like, he understands that he is a big guy and he does everything in his power to make Tallulah feel safe, and he doesn't want Tallulah to fear him, and he obviously has this attraction towards her, but it's definitely a forbidden romance as well. And you guys know I love a Tessa Bailey book. I enjoy them to its fullest. I love them. With this one, the spice was top notch. The banter, the chemistry, all of the relationships in this book I absolutely loved, and I did love seeing Tallulah's and the hero's daughter's relationship as well. So I loved this. 4 stars. Then I ended up reading Love Redesigned by Lauren Asher. We have our hero Julian and our heroine Dahlia. So Dahlia is an interior designer and Julian is a billionaire architect. Okay, Dahlia is on her way to back to this small town named Wisteria because she has just ended her engagement. She's going back to her small town, and Julian is on the way back to this small town as well because he wants to show up for his brother's son's like recital type thing. They end up having a car accident together, and Julian finds Dahlia crying in her car, and this is how they kind of reunite. They were childhood friends to best friends, and then something happened in college and they became strangers. Julian went his separate way and Dahlia went her separate way, and she started dating this man that was no good for her. This one does have a pregnancy, fertility topics, so definitely check your trigger warnings with this, but I did read this in my Read It or Unhaul It episode 1 as well, so definitely check out that reading blog to hear more about my thoughts on this book. This was also my first ever Lauren Asher book, by the way. Then I ended up picking up a novella which is called Accidentally Kidnapping the Hitman by Cassie Mint. I haven't read a novella in so long. I think these 2 novellas that I'm about to talk about are the last novellas that I have read this year, and that's only 2, okay? I've been reading full-length books, girl. I remember in the past years, like, I would literally read a lot of novellas, but not no more. Don't have time for those. I am reading big books now, okay? So we have our heroine in this one. She throws a bachelor party for her gay best friend. Her gay best friend has a twin brother, and our hero is that twin brother. So the hero pulls up to to this bar randomly, runs into our heroine. The heroine assumes that that's her gay best friend, and she takes the hero out on this bachelor party, and the hero goes along with it because he's always been in love with our heroine, and he's like, if this is the only chance I get to hang out with her and for her to talk to me, etc., then he's gonna take it and pretend that he is his brother. But of course, secret comes out. It's always been her. A lot of spice. It's good. It's good. It's good. It's good for what it was. It was 3 stars for me. Then I ended up picking up Accidentally Kidnapping the Cowboy by Cassie Mint. This one I gave 2 stars to. I did not enjoy it as much as I did the first one. We have a heroine who runs over this guy who is actually a cowboy, and she ends up being able to lift him into her truck, and she kidnaps him. And she kidnaps him because she thinks that she can use him to kind of ward off her very horrible, strict parents. The hero wakes up from being knocked out, and he sees this angel in the heroine, and he decides that he's going to keep her, and that is the story for that one. I just thought this one was a little bit over the top. Like, I didn't believe it as much as the first one, so I gave it 2 stars. Then I ended up reading a Dream Girl Drama by Tessa Bailey. This one was so good. I loved this one. I gave it 5 stars. This is everything that I want. Like, this is my dream, okay? Which makes sense. Dream girl drama. That sounds about right, okay? For this one, we have our hero, Sig, and we have our heroine, Chloe. Sig is a hockey player. Chloe is a rich girl. They actually meet at this country club because our hero is on his way to this dinner with his father. Him and his father do not have a really good, close relationship, and Chloe is at this country club just kind of passing time because she also has to go to a dinner. Okay, I love that they met first before anything else goes down, and just with this first meeting, you just get to see their chemistry and their banter, and we get to see Chloe open up to Sig and kind of tell her about her dreams, etc. They're just, it was so good. And then when they go outside of the country club, girl, I ate this up. Okay, their first meeting is kind of interrupted because Chloe gets a phone call from her mother saying that she's, you know, like, where is she? She's gonna be late to dinner, and so they go their separate ways. So Sig ends up going to this dinner and Chloe ends up going to hers. Of course, the dinner is at the same place because Sig's father is actually marrying Chloe's mother. So they are soon to be step siblings. So this has a step sibling trope, is a forbidden romance, if you will. They're having this dinner and Chloe kind of puts it out there that she kind of wants a little bit more freedom, and Sig ends up helping her by saying that she can move to wherever Sig lives and he will like take care of her and look out for her while she does this time alone. They actually end up going together. This is how their kind of relationship starts. I love this so much because Sig is just the perfect man, okay? Sig is just that man. I don't know how else I can tell you that. Like, he does everything in his power to provide for Chloe. He is a hockey player, but he's not one of those like top-notch hockey players that makes the big bucks. He's actually starting, you know, from the bottom of the ladder. So he doesn't make as much money as, you know, Chloe's family does. He tries to make as much money as he can. Like, this man is selling merch with his autograph like online to make extra money, and he does like little things like that to like make more money to provide Chloe the lifestyle that she wants, and he does so much for her. It's literally the little things. Like, he wants the best for her and he just wants her to be happy. I ate this up. Like, what girl does not want that? And again, throughout all of these little moments of them like having this forced proximity as well, there's that tension, that chemistry, their banter, this steam, like literally the little moments where like they almost do it but then something happens. Like, oh my god, that had me at the edge of my seat. I was eating this up. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. The spice, you know, Tessa Bailey really doesn't fail on that for me. Like, if there's something about Tessa Bailey's spice that just, it gets me, okay? Like, the mouth on Tessa Bailey's men is something else, completely something else, in just the best way possible. I loved their relationship so much. Of course, towards the end, I kind of saw where things were going, and I loved how it was resolved, and I'm glad that they ended up getting their HEA. But it was just such a fun read, and I loved their relationship so much. Like, I couldn't put this book down, and I can't wait to reread this book already. 5 stars. Last book I ended up reading in the month of February, I ended up reading A Jingle Bell Mingle by Julie Murphy and Sierra Simone. This is actually the last book in this like Christmassy winter series. I gave this one 4 stars. We have our hero Isaiah and we have our heroine Sunny. Isaiah is actually the final boy band boy. Isaiah is actually dealing with a lot of grief. He did lose his wife, but he's been like in hiatus away from everybody else in the past 2 books. And then we have Sunny. We meet Sunny from the first book and we see her character and what she is like, but she is actually a porn star that turns into a film director. So Sunny and Isaac actually meet through a dating app while they're both in this small town. I think it's called Christmas Notch, and they actually end up hooking up through this dating app. Now fast forward, I don't know how long fast forward, but fast forward, Sunny is trying to direct a film and she needs a place to stay because the hotel motel that she was staying at is literally not livable, and Isaac is not having any of it. So he proposes that Sunny be his muse to help him write music, and he will give her his mansion to live out of, so they both benefit. So now we have a forced proximity, opposites attract romance. I really enjoyed this, like the previous 2. It's not a favorite, but I really enjoyed the story, and I'm glad we finally got Isaac's HEA. Again, it's Sierra Simone. I loved the spice in this, as well as Julie Murphy. I believe does a little bit more of the banter and conversations between the characters, and I loved that as well. So I think this is a great series to read during like the Christmas winter time for sure. Those were all of the books that I ended up reading in the month of February. I know it's April, but I wanted to do this wrap up anyways. I know it's a while, but if you want to let me know what your favorite book of February was, I would love to know. And if you don't want to comment any of that, then go ahead and leave me a hockey stick emoji down below in the comments. Let me know that you made it to the end of this video. Again, thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you guys in my next one. Bye guys.